All right, Shalom. I'm giving all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rakahak Wadash. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. A sincere Shalom, Labakarium, Shah Yasha Allah. That's peace to the elect of the nation of Israel. And if you think that you're not being controlled through witchcraft, you have another thing coming, we woke up to the spiritual world when we came into this truth, not knowing this is an ancient war, an old war that's been being fought for thousands of years. And you find that out once the Lord open your eyes to the spiritual world. See, this truth is all spiritual. It's spiritual. Faith is spiritual. It deals with the unseen. The only true access into the full truth is through faith, which can't be explained. That's the substance you need to serve Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shah. Without the faith, it's impossible, meaning you're not invited to the spiritual world. The Lord Yahweh Shah said he's looking for the true worshipers. This is in St. John's 4th chapter. The Lord is looking for the true worshipers, those that understand the power of faith and the access that you have into the spiritual world with it. So this is a celebrity witch here. Okay. Now on the left-hand side, you need faith also. You need faith in that side. That's their access. You understand? Our faith is in Yahweh Shah. Their faith is in the left-hand side. So she's admitting some things. This is fair use. This is not for monetary fun. This is for educational purposes only. Fair use. I'm going to play this. This is The Truth Is. Channel that I follow. Hold on, let me see something. That's Tasha K interviewing her. This is the name of the channel. The Truth Is. And this is Tasha K. This is Tasha K's second interview with this woman. The first interview, she spoke about Beyonce. We know all the satanic symbols. See, when you allowed into this truth, into this garden, into the mysteries of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, you know what's going on around you, what you're involved in every day. So that's why when we say don't celebrate birthdays, you acknowledge the day you were born, you move on. But you don't go with the candles and shutting the lights out and making a wish. All that's going back to the charmers. So when we tell you that Christmas and Halloween, these all have demonic possessions. And a lot of people die around these days. Thanksgiving, a lot of people die around their birthday, whether before or after. Look at the statistics of the people that die on their birthday. Because this whole place is surrounded with witchcraft. This is what this man does. I'm going to play this in a second. But I'm going to read this. This is Isaiah 47, okay? Isaiah 47:12 says, "Stand now with thy enchantments and with thy multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be, thou shalt be able to profit. If so be, thou mayest prevail." And these enchantments work better with unity. That's why that whole community spirit deals with Bacchus and Dionysus. Because when you get the community together, you party. A lot of sexual orgies happen. There's gyms everywhere. That goes back to gymnos, which goes back to naked. The music is polluted. Like, she's going to go into it. She's going to tell you that not just Hollywood deal with witchcraft. Everything you touch in the morning, everything you see on TV, the schools, the churches, you're surrounded by evil spirits. And the only way to combat that is through the creator of spirits, Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shah. That's why this truth is very important. This is enchantment, the Hebrew.
Strong's H2267. Hever.
Kabar. no, actually, Salakia, Habar, which is a magician, a charmer, or a spell, right? But I want this root here. This root here.
Strong's H2266. Chavea.
So with this charmer, this magic is to unite, to band, to bind together, to join. So when you celebrating the Super Bowl and they giving you that halftime service and they tell you 1 point something billion people watched it across the world, they got everybody into that ritual. When you're watching the award show, the MTV show, when they're throwing these concerts and they got everybody watching, everybody participating, that's more power, that's more force. So these enchantments go harder, they gain more power when they get everybody involved. Because you may think, why do they need everybody involved? They need it for it to go out stronger. So you celebrating Christmas, them having 300 million people celebrate Christmas at the same time brings stronger energy. 300 million people celebrating Halloween at the same time. More energy. This is what you're involved with when you don't understand this truth. And you're sitting under your enemy, Esau, man, who's a top witch. So it says, stand now with thy enchantments and with thy multitude of sorceries. And we know this man deals with the warlocks and the witches. And this is sorceries.
Strong's H3785. Keshif.
Kashap, which is sorcery, witchcraft. So this man is heavy in it. Sorcery and witchcraft. Let me just go into this Hebrew lexicon. Let's see what we got here. Okay, it's nothing here. They're giving you Isaiah 47. We already in there. Micah 5 and 11. 2 Kings 9 and 22. Okay, they give you a few scriptures here. So we deal with this man's sorcery. You know, in the Greek, that word sorcery goes back to pharmakia. That's where you get the word pharmacy from. So all these drugs, you know, the hospital, just the image of the medical field is it's a stick, a hollow wood stick and a snake wrapped around it. Will show you right there, that's enchantments. So it says, stand now with thy enchantments and with thy multitude of sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be, thou shalt be able to profit. If so be, thou mayest prevail. And they're picking this up now because they're losing. So you're going to see the witchcraft, the sorcery go out even more because this man needs more blood. I'm going to let you hear what this witch got to say. Salaki.
Spell. Because people think they call you a witch.
Okay, and
I guess with the branding and ever since like storybooks or fables, any storybook that I can remember in school, witches were bad.
Yeah, that's what they teach you. Yeah, so you don't tap into your power. I mean, why would I tell you that I'm doing a spell on you? I'm going to tell you that spells are bad so that I can do it on you. That's why I feel like society.
Well, they're on the left hand side, mind you. The Lord gave us orders. Hold on, just 1 second. This is for, the black woman. She loves her witches. The black woman, because it goes back to the garden with Eve, dealing with that serpent, that diviner, But yeah, we were ordered to put them to death in the scriptures. That was the judgment on witches. You can go into it's a few Deuteronomy 18 goes into that. Let me get some here. You got Exodus 22 and 18. You shall not permit a sorcerer to live. So this is the judgment. And the witch that Saul was given an order to put them to death. But he didn't put them all to death, He was very disobedient in many ways, the first king of Israel, because of his height, Saul. And then he went to a witch to conjure up the spirit of Samuel in the earth to find out, do he win this next battle? And Samuel told him, this day you and your son's gonna be here with me, meaning in the spiritual world. Y'all gonna die. And he got that information because that witch was able to channel those spirits into her and speak. But that was the left hand energy. Now we deal with the spiritual war through Yahushua. And Yahushua is channeled through the Holy Spirit. That's why I tell you to put on the whole armor of the Lord in Ephesians 6 and 10. What is that actually saying? That means to tap in to the spiritual side, but through Yahushua. So we gain access to that side through Yahushua. And this is why the power of Satan is about to lose. Because you're dealing with the men of the Lord on a heavy level. We understand both sides. And we understand which side is more valuable. We're not doing this for money and success and leadership. And, this is what they tap in to rule and control and destroy families and people, man. Listen, watch what this woman says. So Exodus 22:18 says, you should not permit a sorcerer to live. Did I say Leviticus? That was Exodus 22:18. This is Leviticus 19:31. Do not turn to mediums or necromancers. This they say they call Puff Daddy on. They're dealing with the dead bodies. It says, do not seek them out, and so make yourself unclean by them. I am Yahweh, your power. This is Leviticus 20, verse 27. A man or a woman who is a medium or a necromancer shall surely be put to death. They shall be stoned with stones. Their blood shall be upon them. This is Deuteronomy 18:10. There shall not be found among you anyone who makes his son or his daughter pass through the fire, or one who practices divinations, or a soothsayer, or one who interprets omens, which is prophecies, or look into the future, or a sorcerer, or one who conjures spells, or a medium, or a spiritualist, or one who calls up the dead. And that's what Saul was seeking to, and that's what these witches, these people in Hollywood and in leadership, your government, this is what they're involved in. Okay? Now, y'all stay out there. Give me a minute. Y'all stay out there. Give me a minute. I know y'all was coming back so fast. You can get in. But close the door.
It's hot out there, too.
Yeah. So, no, close the door. They sit out there. And just give me a minute, man. I didn't think y'all was going to be so fast. Salakia.
Because it's been sensationalized. Like, oh, witchcraft is bad, witchcraft is this, but they're doing witchcraft on you. So, yeah, we're all...
Yeah, explain that. Who is who?
The government.
The government's doing witchcraft on
So
people.
you heard what she said. So
sigils
she going to lay it out. Mama, this is a popular celebrity witch. So she's the insider. And you see it's Jake. But yes, everything you touch, everything that's involved, your food, everything is controlled by these demons through Esau. That's why when you go into Revelation 17, it tell you about the mother of harlots. This is full of abomination, and it's a cesspool that the Lord got to bring down.
You're here to dispel. Because, people, they call you a witch.
Okay, and?
I guess with the branding and, ever since storybooks or fables, any storybook that I can remember in school, witches were bad.
Yeah, that's what they teach you, yeah. So you don't tap into your power. I mean, why would I tell you that I'm doing a spell on you? I'm going to tell you that spells are bad so that I can do it on you. That's how I feel like society manipulates people. Because it's been sensationalized. Like, oh, witchcraft is bad, witchcraft is this, but they're doing witchcraft on you. So, yeah, we're all...
Yeah, explain that. Who is who?
The government.
The government's doing witchcraft on people.
Yeah, our money has sigils on it.
Please elaborate, please. I've heard of something like that, but I just be like,
this is what she
you
said.
Know, go to wormhole YouTube.
Yeah, we can go before we go down a wormhole, but I'll give it like a surface level.
Go ahead.
So if you look at the dollar, first of all, it's a dead president on it. It's an ancestor. Okay. Off the rip, right? So when you look at the different pyramids and certain like lines and how they print their money, it's all a spell. It's all a ritual, right? So every time you touch money, even psychologically.
She said even when you touch the money. So as those printing machines, they got certain warlocks that come in, they pray over the Federal Reserve. They pray over the military and the guns too. But there's a sensation with even the touch, the feel of the money itself. See, a lot of the things that you touch in the morning is very demonic. And you wonder how these spirits are jumping around and they passing around. And you know when you turn that dollar bill over to the back, those are all cobwebs. And when you find cobwebs in haunted houses and dirty places and basements, low level is that there's a very evil vibration behind money. And that's why the Lord said you can't serve me and serve Mammon. There's a god of money itself that people fall into. They just thinking, well, I'm just trying to better myself, and then you can get lost. This goes beyond feeding your family. I mean, how many millions do you need to feed your family to find out that you're addicted to the god of money? Because the Lord let you know it's not the money itself, it's the spirit that you're in when you touch that money and you get addicted to that money. Okay? Let me get this real quick. Let's get Timothy's. I'm try to wrap this up quick because I'm out here with my family. So, and I was watching this while they was shopping, and I was like, man, you know, this is. And I had this video for a few days, and I forgot. I said, oh, let me look at this again, and it says, this is 1 Timothy 6. Let me see, where we want to start at? 1 Timothy 6. And let me see. For the love of money, it's in verse 10. I'm going to read it in NLT. For the love of money is the root of all evil. So it's that's that spirit that you're in. And that you touch that money, that's power. Because it tell you that money is a defense, and then wisdom is a defense. But the excellency of wisdom is that it brings to everlasting life. Money doesn't. For the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. So it's not the money, it's the love of it. So that's the spirit. And some people craving money have wandered from the true faith and pierced themselves with many sorrows. So we see people going crazy. I was taking a look at this chick, Little Kim, man. You know, how horrible this rapper Little Kim looks now. And this all goes back to chasing the bag. All this goes back to chasing that money. It's the root of all evil. So when we come into this truth, you know, there's a detoxification even for the money. This is the 17th verse. Teach those who are rich in this world not to be proud and not to trust in their money, which is so unreliable. Their trust should be in Yahweh, who richly gives us all we need for our enjoyment, meaning the Lord going to make sure we're content, and the Lord gives us extra. The Lord is in the extra business, okay? But it's a certain way, certain spirit you're supposed to be in with this money. But we know the demonic forces that control this place got these people running out of their wits, out of their mind, man. As you hearing it right from this witch mouth.
About money, it is all outlined to you, subliminal. Everything you watch is subliminal when you think about it. Your music is subliminal, you know, the 808s, all the beats, everything.
Now you hear what you said about the 808s, the beats. You wonder why you listen to some music now you want to commit adultery. Women want to sleep around. You know, you don't know where these spirits are coming from. This is Roland TR 808. You know, this is a low vibration, And when you go back into Cain, when you go into Cain's children, you know, one of Cain's great-grandsons, he was an artificer. He made instruments. This was for musical use. So they had, the wicked grandsons had understanding to musical instruments and how it moved people and a vibration. And that's why when Esau is handling Jake in his music industry, they know the songs to tell them to write, the things that's going to get them to go off. And they showed you that in They Clone Tyrone. There was a scene when the DJ would slow the music down, the people would get dead, speed the music up, the people would get aggressive and want to fight. They had control of the music. So this is 808. The number 808 has multiple meanings depending on the contents. In music, it refers to the Roland TR 808 drum machine, which is a very low vibration. That's why when the music went to the South, it slowed down. But you notice the crime picked up in Atlanta. Now look at the music today. It has a lot to do with the crime wave, and Esau's behind that. These are more reasons why the Lord is taking this place down. And you wonder why the Lord got to come back fast and handle this, else no flesh should be saved. So that music is very wicked. But you know what's very powerful about that with the 808s? Because once you come into this truth, this is Numbers 23, verse 23. Surely there shall be no enchantment against Jacob, neither is there any divination against Israel. According to this time it shall be said, O Jacob and Israel, what have Yahweh wrought? So when you come into this truth, you're protected on a high level. This is for the elect. So these enchantments that used to work on you, when you in the spirit of Yahweh, they don't work anymore. So the music don't affect us. The food we eating poison. You know, the demonic forces that's on these women, the things that used to affect us, they don't affect us anymore because now you walking in the spirit. Because we know that 808, that 8, when you break down Yahweh's name, it breaks down to the 8, which goes into infinity, the everlasting life. So when we see the 8, especially the 808, because when you go into the 808, they even tell you that it's a God number. It says in numerology, the number 808 often signifies a powerful message of abundance, which goes into infinity. And the 8 also represent abundance, prosperity, and spiritual awakeness. So those things that affect the people in the world, now in this truth, putting on the whole armor of the Lord, is no longer effective on us. So, it's mandatory to stay in the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. When you fall out this truth and you fall out the spirit, now you're subjected to 8 more demons. That's when it really picks up. I'm gonna finish this up real quick.
Controlling us. Yes. So if you know that you're being controlled, now you can't be controlled anymore. But if you don't know, they can continue to control you, and that's what's happening. So, and that's what I meant by people that are manipulated by media, by what they're seeing on TV, by their music. If they don't know that they're being manipulated, it works. If they're awakened and protected from it,
awakened to Yahweh Shah. Because there's people that know that's witchcraft, but there's nothing you can do against it. You need the spiritual forces on the right-hand side. You need protection from Yahweh Shah. She don't have that. She can leave this mess tomorrow, and the only thing she got is Christianity. And that Jesus, which she ran from one demon to the next. So the demons don't leave her. The only way to get the demons out is through Yahweh Shah.
The slave that is enslaved and know he's a slave will revolt. The slave that doesn't believe that he's enslaved, the slave that thinks that he's being helped, he's being manipulated, will always remain a slave. He's never going to revolt. That literally happens today, all the time.
Give me an example.
Okay, so what I meant by the media, right? Okay. Yeah. When people think of success, they say, okay, I need to go out, I need to buy a mansion, I need to buy a Maybach, I need to do this, I need to do that. That is not really what they want. That's what they're being told they want. So they will really be a slave, like going to work 9 to 5, doing this, doing that. Not saying nothing's wrong with 9 to 5. Yeah, exactly. What I mean is, if that is not your gift, that is not your calling, you're just doing it to get what looks like success, you are being manipulated. And you are a worker for these big corporations that do not have to work now. Because you've already went through school, which basically is either a pipeline for you to be a worker, or you're going to prison. Listen to this real quick.
So all this, you know, you can go right over here. The truth is, I mean, she's just kicking, you know, regular knowledge, but we here for the spiritual understanding of what they call corporations all about. And that's all witchcraft, man. And the Lord is about to take this man down. This is more reasons why Esau got to go, man. I'm going to finish it on this right here. This is Isaiah 47. We started. This is Isaiah 47:12 NLT. Now use your magic charms. Use the spells you have worked at all these years. Maybe they will do you some good. Maybe they can make someone afraid of you. All the advice you've received has made you tired. Where are all your astrologers, those stargazers who make predictions each month? Let them stand and save you from what the future holds. And ain't nothing you can do from what's about to happen, Esau. And we know you working hard up there in CERN and messing with the machines and calling on all kind of spirits and people dying left and right with these blood sacrifices and these rituals, but nothing you have is going to work because it's over. So I'm ending right there, giving all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Shalom, Labakarium, Shah, Yasharala. That's peace to the elect of the nation Israel. We on our way up out of here. Shalom.